All right, I have a location that they have a water-cooled ice cream machines, and they added a machine, and they don't have enough water pressure to run everything. And this is a very old building. You can see the overhead is terrible. There's no room. And long and the short is this is the 1-inch water line coming into the building, and then it turns into a 3/4, and then it splits to service everything. So by the time we get way over to the other side of the building, I just don't have the pressure for 4. So I'm gonna make a junction here and run a designated 1-inch line to drop right behind the ice cream machines where I need them. This is a early in the morning breakfast location, so they're running all day long and never close. So turning off the water is the trick. 1-inch PVC, so if I go with PVC joints, then I've got to wait for them to glue and dry. Locally, I know there are PVC adapters like SharkBites, but not that do what I need them to do locally. And it's Friday, we need to get these machines running for the weekend. So, the rig I've devised, what I did have was 1-inch PVC to 1-inch PEX, and this is what I'm actually running over to the lines anyway. So I've got to create this rig where I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to cut this section out, and then I'm going to create, right, 1-inch PVC SharkBites so that they'll just slide right on. And I do have enough to move that pipe down, so I'll be able to pull it and make my connection, and then put my valve on so I can kill the water, dump the pressure quick, cut it, slide it in, close that, turn the water back on, and we should have the building water off for like 2 minutes tops, hopefully 1, because all I gotta do is I'm gonna have this marked where I have to cut it, take the bone saw, cut into it, and then bada bing. There's the rig. It's gonna go right there. They're in the middle of breakfast. We're gonna wait till they're in between lunch parts to do this when the store is as empty as it can be. So I'm gonna start running my PEX that direction. Okay, so here's the ice cream machines. You can see what they have is they have let's get some focus. They have 1 3/4 inch PVC or 3/4 inch PEX, and then they drop it down to half, and they run a 1/2 inch that way and a 1/2 inch this way. And then from this 1/2 inch, they're feeding a splitter that runs into 1, 2 machines, 3 machines, and then 1 over there. It's just not enough. They just don't have enough pressure to keep them rolling. So I bring a 1-inch line over here. He wants everything in the wall instead of surface mounted, which is a headache, but fine. I mean, doable. So we're just gonna run 1 inch above all the way to there. This panel, it looks like, is gonna come off based on this is barely connected already. So I think what I'm gonna be able to do is run it over. I'm gonna pull this panel down so I can see what's going on, set it right in there, strap it, make a new hole, because I can't turn this off till I have my new one. I'm gonna make a new hole, pop out there, so that everything's ready to just be moved over, all my connections. We'll see. There we go. Right, so there was no way I could, because I don't have the height, I couldn't have fed my long line down. And even if I was trying, I would have hit this, been aggravated, and then knocked it out. So this way I have access to everything. All right. Now we've got our hole cut, stubbed through. I just used a SharkBite, so I didn't have to put crimps on anything. Up and out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start my run. 1 inch is worse to deal with because it's so in its shape. You gotta spend time, warm it up, and then straighten it out. So I gotta run through here, around, over, and connect. All right, here is the manifold that I built to run this. So now Yeah, my old one's still intact. Look, it's leaking. What happened? It started leaking. Boo. So this is gonna connect this way, and then give us 3 connections over here. He's only gonna use 2 of them because he's gonna keep using the one over there. But in case it ever fails, this 1-inch water line can support all 3. So I'm putting 3 on here, so future problems averted. All right, so I didn't film it because it was a hot swap, get it done quick. But we killed the water outside, cut that, slipped it on, turned the water back on, and then that let me do my connections here. So let's see if that's a drip or condensation, because this is very cold and it's warm up here, but make sure this is seated well. I'm going to strap this up so the handle can't be accidentally turned off. All right, and on this side, we've got, I know it's a mess because there's hoses everywhere. We're going to straighten it out. It's easier to see. So we've got 1-inch, tapers down to 3/4, and the reason it goes to 3/4 is because there's a 3/4 to 1/4 manifold. So I have 3 1/4-inch lines with individual shutoffs to feed all 3 outputs to the machine, even though one of the machines is going to stay outputted over there for now. If that ever becomes a problem, they can just move it to here. So let's do the job once, not have to come back. All right, wall back together, trim back on. We're gonna do some maintenance stuff on these machines, but our water's running.